Good afternoon, everyone. Most of you I saw last year at the same place, so it's a pleasure to be here, and we have some new things to tell, of course. So let's start. One thing before, as last year, we have a lottery, but the price is different. So again, please hand your business cards to my colleague, and in the end, we will save a few minutes to do drawing and win one of those Kindle readers. Okay? Same procedure as last year. So that was the advertisement part. Now let's go to something more concrete. Since last year, a lot have happened in the company HIMA. Among others, we launched the Smart Safety Platform, and that's not just a product. It's where the company is going, basically. So let me start with telling you what the Smart Safety idea is, which is part of our branding as well. I don't have to convince you that we do safety and security. This is kind of a trivial fact. Two other things are very important for us when we talk about smart safety. One is reliability. What we've done for 40 years, and we strive to do it very, very well. And I come back to that. That's guiding us all the time, and we actually have made quite a few advantages out of that. And the last part is for us the most important, that we do things reliably and in safety and security. This is difficult enough, but we know how to do that. For us, it's very important that what we do is profitable for our customers, because a plant is safe when it doesn't run, right? But if it doesn't run, it's not profitable. So safety alone is not enough. Nobody wants to pay for safety. You just want to have a safe plant, but the idea of a plant is to be profitable and to run and produce. And this is what the smart safety idea wants to underline from the perspective of safety. Now, Smart Safety Platform, what is that? And you see it here already. Smart Safety consists for us of three parts, and the Safety Platform, which I'm going to introduce in a second, is the core of it. And around that Smart Safety Platform, we build services and applications, which is quite natural. We're not going to talk about services and applications today, but obviously that's a very natural way to do. The Smart Safety Platform we launched in June last year, and basically what it did is it combines all of our products in a way that is now the way we want to have it. You know, safety is, we do safety since a very long time, so the products stem from different decades, and they had their niches to play. And what we did now is we combine them into one platform, meaning they can flexibly interoperate as much as you like. How did we do that? You know, we have three main families, the HIMA, the HIQuad, and the HIMatrix. What we did is we reworked the HIQuad system completely in the main parts. And with that, oh, sorry, that was too far. With that, we moved the oldest system onto the level of 2018. That means we can now all systems engineer with the same engineering tool. They share the same communication protocol, our proprietary Safe Ethernet, and they run the same software. And this is very important because they all share now the same security philosophy and the same security possibilities. So we kept the good of the HIQuad family, which is tens of thousands of systems out in the world, and we now move it to the level of 2018. So people can upgrade or modernize the HIQuad system without touching the field cabling and the input and output variables. They just have to modernize the central parts. And this is where the platform comes in and the one engineering tool. You can do it quite seamlessly. It's more or less automated, and it's according to the SEAL philosophy. One box I didn't talk about is the HIJunction Box. I'll do that in one of the next slides. So remember, the Smart Safety Platform combines all of our programmable families very flexibly. And when you think about it, you find a lot of benefits and things that you can do in the future and also now. One is it doesn't matter when you program your application program what the hardware will be. So you can dramatically decrease the time you need for engineering. Because we don't care which of the families you choose in the end. When you do the application programming, you can choose the platform later on, yeah, because they're all the same. Now the HIQuad, we call it HIQuad X because it joins the family of programs, of products that are engineered with the Sealworks engineering tool. The part you see there is the part we did from scratch, so it's completely new development, but the IOs and the field installation remains as it is. So you only can replace the central part if you want to upgrade to a new security level or whatever. You will see it in the workshop tomorrow, 12:15, where we show the workflow you have to do when you go from the HIQuad to the HIQuad X is very, very efficient. And by automated testing, you can really do that in a very, very short time. Have a look, it's very convincing, actually. The HIJunction Box is pretty new. It's so new we don't have a proper product photo of it yet, so sorry for that a bit fuzzy photo. What we do is I think there's a trend to put controllers more in the field. So it's a pre-configured cabinet that you put in the zone 2 somewhere based on either the HIMetrics or the HIMax. That has a lot of benefits. It's written about already in other places. It's much faster to engineer. You don't have to do all the marshalling because there's a fiber cable from the central control room to the remote stations. So from now on, we can do this in a pre-configured way very, very flexibly. It is a complete box cabinet, so you don't have to do anything else, which is why it got an own name. We call it HIJunction Box because it's a smart junction box. So those are the two things that complete the portfolio we had so far. And for us, we realized that when we did this, there are a lot of things that fall in place now, as if we would have waited to complete our portfolio so we can flexibly interoperate most of the products. This is nothing that is ready. It will just go on. And for me, the HIQuad X was the last cornerstone in fulfilling our lifecycle policy, which we have to commit to customers anyway. When we sell something today, they want to use it for several decades. And it's quite impossible to promise to use something for several decades. But with that, we are extremely flexible in upgrading over the years very, very slowly, so people never go obsolete. And at the same time, they are modernizing all the time. So there's no break and no gap anymore. Whatever family you choose, there's no dead end to run into. And this is very strong because you can even upgrade when your system is growing. You just choose the next larger controller family. You can move all your application logic from one to the other. You don't even have to disclose it. And you can automate that more or less. That's very strong. Last year at this place, now I'm coming back to the topic of security. I said the smart safety platform shares the same philosophy in security. And last year I talked about the security environment for safety, which basically describes how do we realize secure operation in our controllers. The picture looked a bit different. We cleaned it up a bit. But the message is exactly the same. You might remember the yellow and the blue, at least. That's much easier. So same story holds. Now, we are very confident that we are pretty good within the controllers. But as we learned also this morning, security is much, much more, of course. And security has to be safeguarded outside the controller families. And for that, 2 more slides. One is, we have to communicate between controllers. That's an area that so far is a bit kind of underlooked at. Of course, to the outside, we have firewalls and so on. I personally think we will discuss the topic of encryption of safe communication more and more. And I don't want to talk about that more. Just one fact, the IEC is currently upgrading the norm that corresponds to it is the 61784. And it turned out that when you encrypt a safe communication signal, if you don't do the safety properly, you can't guarantee the seal level anymore. It's a bit technical. I can explain in more detail if you meet me later because it takes a bit longer. But and there's nothing we have found out alone. It's the community that rewrites that norm knows it very well, actually. The consequence is quite important. That means some of the safe communication protocols out there, they will not be able to guarantee safety anymore when they are encrypted. And that's a pretty interesting argument. So some will, like ours does, but others will not. And the reason is that that norm doesn't require very strong bit error probabilities to be handled. And unless you do better, and better means 50 times better, you're not able to guarantee a seal level for an encrypted signal. It's a bit technical, but I think the consequences are quite dramatic. When you start encrypting, some of the protocols cannot be used anymore. We are lucky, and this is why I talked about reliability before. HIMA has always done things better than required. So on that side, we are very safe, because our protocol covers bit error probabilities of 50%, always, since many, many years. So we have a communication protocol that can be encrypted without losing the seal certificate. Very interesting news, I think. It's being published now. In Germany we start, and other members, I think, of that norm, they also start publishing that. The second news is when I said we have to move outside the controller itself. We only produce controllers, safety controllers, but the network around it needs to be safeguarded. And what we've done recently is that we forged into a strategic partnership with a German company called Genua. Genua in German, what they do is they are pretty similar to HIMA. Not as long as we, but since 25 years they work on hardware and software for security solutions. There are many companies like that. For me, the interesting fact is they are very good. And one reason to prove that fact is that they have been bought by the German Bundesdruckerei. That's the equivalent to the US Bureau of Engraving and Printing. So they print the German bills, huh? And that they are pretty keen on having a hardware and software solution that is very, very secure. And Genua has delivered a lot of hardware and software for military and NATO applications, so they know what they do. And we are working together with them. They deliver stuff we can't. They deliver encryption devices, data diodes, remote access solutions, firewalls and stuff. So from now on, we enrich our portfolio with that kind of solutions. And we're very happy for that. So this is the official worldwide announcement of it. It has been known in Germany before. I think many companies do that. If you can't do it alone, you look for a partner. And we are very, very happy to find that partner because it fits us very well. It's a small and medium-sized company. They have the same philosophy as we do. Don't do things if you're not really good at that. So now I think we have a very strong partnership here, and we are ready to go. That concludes what I had to tell. So yeah, the four learnings I want you to take with you. The smart safety platform is something that we will continue to evolve over time. But now we are at the first time having something that is complete in the way that all our families, they can now evolve in the future without any gap. And they are on the same level of security, no matter how old they are. Because the HIQuad stems from the 90s, but we moved it to 2018 without losing the good stuff. We are very, very happy for that. And that brings lots of flexibility for customers. The second one is the one I showed you last year already. We are still very confident that the way how we implemented security in our safety solutions is very, very good. And I can promise you we keep doing that. Last March, we did this penetration testing with the American Logic organization. We came out fairly well, or very well, I would say. Of course, they don't disclose to us how the others did, but between the lines, we heard good news, really good news. And of course, we work on the things that we want to improve. They always are there. It's a race, as you know, but we feel pretty confident. Safe Ethernet, our proprietary safety protocol, which we're not going to disclose because it carries lots of IP, we will not do. But remember, it's CO3 and it can be encrypted, as opposed to many out there that will fall on the new version of the 1784 norm. And lastly, our partnership with a small German company we're very happy for. So we feel pretty much enriched by all these things. And so the platform is actually now enriched by products. And I didn't talk so much about services. Of course, we offer services to bring this together. I think having good hardware and software is only part of the solution. You also need to help people to implement it properly. It's not so much rocket science to have a secure plant. It's just implementing stuff according to the manuals, which is probably 80% of what needs to be done. There's much more, but I think that homework has to be done, and we support customers in doing that. That was it. Last is the advertisement for the workshop tomorrow, 12:15. Have a look in how to automatically move from an older version to a new version of that HIQuad installation with automatic testing and all these things that belong together. It's quite convincing, and I think engineering time can be reduced dramatically. And nobody wants safety automation engineering. You just have to have it, right? As all engineering, nobody loves that. You just want to get it done. And I think we have a huge step now towards automating the whole chain, which is tricky because it's all subject to the 615.11 norm. Yeah. Okay, but now I'm done. So thank you very much. I think we have the minutes we need to draw the lucky winner, but if there are any questions, we can do that before.
Thank you. You mentioned less engineering, hardware and infrastructure costs and more flexibility. Did you have an estimate on how much less cost?
Are you referring to that one?
10%?
This is time mainly. Are you referring to this one? Or?
No, when you were describing the smart safety platform, HIJunction Box, you mentioned the cost reductions. I wondered if you would quantify the cost reductions.
Nothing I would dare to say, but it depends a lot on the project you're doing. Yeah. I mean, this is what customers want, so of course there's a benefit, but I think you need to be careful because it depends a lot on the specific installation, and yeah, I would be careful. Any number is good, but I can come back on that when I have. I think if you tell a number, you need to tell the case, honestly, because I mean there's a case between the number here, but I think it's more honest if you say this is the number, and now I can tell you something to prove that number also, because claiming numbers is very easy, right? Okay. Anything else? Then the two of you, maybe you just draw the lucky winner, and we hand over the Kindle, and then we leave the stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll ask Paul to draw the lucky winner. He's not from HIMA, so tension rising.
There shouldn't be any HIMA cards inside anyway.
Mix it up nice there, yeah. Oh, Mark Rosenzweig.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.